So funny story, the most popular video game I've ever created almost got banned on Steam. So that's a thing. How's it going, everyone? I'm Gavin, I'm an indie game developer, and I'm currently working on a game called My Beautiful Paper Smile, which you can check out on Steam. And today I want to talk about a different game that I made recently that I put out on Steam, and I had some trouble with it. So before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to remind everybody to hit that subscribe button because I want more subscribers. And also, it's completely free, and you can always change your mind later. All right, with that out of the way, now we can hop into the video. So back in December of, it would have been 2020, the best year of ever, I participated in a 1-week game jam where you had to make a game, right, in a week. And so I did that. I made a game called Cloud Climber, and it was kind of cool. I was pretty happy with it. I put it on itch.io, and it did pretty well over there. People really liked it. It actually got featured, and I was like, you know what? I think it's done well enough that I can justify putting this game on Steam. So I decided to put it on Steam for free and kind of just use it to help build an audience for myself and my studio. So I put the game on Steam and I published it, and the first day it actually did pretty well. It within the first 24 hours, it actually got onto the new and trending, like onto the front page of Steam. It got a couple thousand downloads in that first day, and I was so excited. I was like, holy crap, this actually happened. I've never been on the front page of Steam before, so that was a pretty big deal for me. That was really exciting. So huge thanks to anyone that played the game, and even if you haven't played the game, you still can. It's still free on Steam. Spoiler alert, it didn't get banned, but whatever. Everything was going smoothly. Everything was going great. I was getting lots of downloads. Everybody was really enjoying it. But then, after it got onto the front page and more people were downloading it, about on the second day, I started getting some of these reviews, a lot of negative reviews from people saying the game won't close and I can't uninstall it. People would have to go into their task manager and manually close the game, because as soon as they'd close it from the main menu of the game, it would start running as a background process. And this was looking pretty sketchy to people. Believe it or not. You've got a free game that's very short. There's not a lot to it. I'm a relatively unknown indie game developer, so I don't have like that much notoriety with a lot of these people. And so then, they download this random game off of Steam, they play it, and then when they quit, it keeps on running. And so I started getting accused of a couple different things, and I don't blame people for, being sketched out by this. I would be too. But people started saying that I was trying to like inflate my player count to get it pushed up higher on Steam. People said, I was trying to like mine crypto and like trying to use this game to like mine Bitcoin or something, which is actually a pretty good idea. I might try that. I'm not gonna try that. Don't worry, I promise. I'm innocent. But I started getting all these accusations, and I was freaking out because I was getting a bunch of negative reviews about this stuff. I mean, they weren't like incredibly negative. I was at about 80% positive reviews, and I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know why this was happening. It never happened before on any of my previous games. But there was one thing that had changed between the last time I put out a game and this game, and that is I updated Unreal Engine from version 4.19 to 4.26. People, 4.26 it still has some bugs. just gonna put that out there. But in any case, I started looking through my code. I started Google searching and doing all this stuff, trying to figure out what this issue was, what this bug was, and why it was occurring. I had no idea. And throughout my Google searches, one of the first things that I found was a person posted a question asking, how do I make it so that my game doesn't start running in the background after it's quit, because Valve won't approve my game. This person had submitted a game that had this same bug. They were using Unreal Engine, they submitted it to Steam, and this bug came up while Valve was testing it, and they wouldn't let the game onto the store because it was kind of sketchy. It kept on running in the background, and Valve didn't know what was going on with it, and so they rejected it. And this scared me. This scared me a lot, because as I started looking into the issue more, I found out that it only occurred about 30% of the time. Only about 30% of the time when you closed the game would it start running as a background process, which made it even more confusing. But because of that, apparently when Valve tested the game, they happened to test it on one of those lucky tries where it didn't start running as a background process. So they actually approved the build and let it get onto Steam. But if they had found out, and if they were going to find out, like if people started reporting the game or anything, and they found out that there was this bug where it was running as a background process, they probably would have removed the game from the front page of Steam. And it was up here getting hundreds and hundreds of downloads every hour. And I'm actually probably next week, I'm actually going to be making a video doing kind of a deep dive into some of these stats, you know, all the download stats and view count stats and stuff like that for Cloud Climber. So once again, be sure to subscribe if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But anyways, I started freaking out because I knew if this went on much longer, my game was going to get booted off the Steam store, and I would completely obliterate the entire launch. And this game was doing way better than anything else I'd ever put out. So I did not want that to happen. So I spent the next probably 8 hours trying to fix this issue, doing Google searches, trying out stuff on my own. I reached out to a bunch of, fellow developers, and I got a bunch of help from one fantastic saint of a man, from the developer Matt Reeves, who is a fellow horror game developer, and he also uses Unreal Engine, and he's super smart. And you can actually follow him on Twitter, because that's literally the least I could do to thank him for his help figuring out this issue. So you can follow him on Twitter. He's got some really cool games that he's working on. He helped me a lot through the process, and we managed to figure out that because I placed a little ad for another one of my games, My Beautiful Paper Smile, which I mentioned earlier, in the bottom corner of the main menu. And for some stupid little reason, in Unreal Engine 4.26, if you have a widget like that, if you have a little video playing, then for some reason Unreal Engine decides to 30% of the time put your game into a background process. So I made some tweaks. I made it so that when you quit the game, it stops playing that video. The video basically just pauses and then closes down normally. And it was awesome. So I tested it myself. I sent it to a friend, he tested it, I sent it to some other people, they tested it, and then I updated the build onto Steam, and there was a whole Steam discussion board about this issue, and I was trying to, keep in touch with people and figure out what was going on. And so I asked them, hey guys, I think it's fixed. Can you please test it and make sure it's fixed so I can verify this? And so they were like, yes, it's working. It worked now, so I was super excited. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, finally. It was a very long, tiring, draining, stressful day to try and figure out all that stuff. But eventually I did, and it all worked out pretty well. So my game didn't get banned from Steam, thankfully. It continued to stay up on the front page for like another 2 weeks, or almost 2 weeks, and has done very well. So I'm gonna be talking about that more later. In another video, like I said, and that's about all I have for you today. So if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments. Also be sure to share this video with a friend, because I'm sure your friend would enjoy this video, because of course they would. Other than that, be sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter at 2StarGames. Link in the link tree below. Anyways, that's it. See you later. I'm so graceful.